Okay, I got the email that we're live on Twitch. I don't know about on YouTube though. Let me see. Yeah, we are. We're live on YouTube. Alrighty. Let me just mute this call and we will run our intro video.
Welcome to the Four Guys with Quarters show. With your hosts Inferno, Assassin, and Clowns.
Hello, and welcome everyone to the 4GwQPodcast podcast, episode 84 for April 21st, 2016. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're joining us live on Twitch and YouTube simulcast, feel free to type in the chat, ask questions, give opinions and stuff. We'll throw some of those out on the show if they are certainly relevant to the topic at hand. I'm Inferno217, one of the hosts here at 4Guys. We have a full panel tonight, so let me go ahead and introduce the rest of the guys that are going to be on tonight's show. We've got, making his 84th straight appearance, ZPCI Assassin. What's up, bro?
What up?
We've got Italian Clowns also, who's usually always here. So Clowns, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And our special fourth guy guest for this evening, we've got Iron Wolf, who was up late last night on the Xbox Nation podcast. We thank you so much for being on, joining the show. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? It's an honor to be here, and big fan of the show. Started listening to the show since Crap appeared on the show, so ever since then I never stopped listening.
Right. Awesome. Thanks, man. We really appreciate the support. So tonight we've got some talk about the PSNeo, obviously. Hopefully that's not going to get too out of hand. We want to, keep the show a little shorter than 2 hours. So we'll cut that off if it gets too out of hand. But we'll talk about the PSNeo, our impressions of the information, what we think is going to come of it. We'll talk about Gears 4 beta. I'm sure Iron Wolf has a lot to say about that, being a huge Gears fan that he is. And we'll talk about some other stuff, some Star Wars DLC that's come out recently that we're just getting to, and what people are thinking about the Doom beta that happened last week. Some bad impressions may threaten the, ability for that game to catch on for multiplayer. So before we get into any of those topics, I just want to give Iron Wolf a chance to go ahead and shout out his channel, tell us how he got into gaming, and what he does in the community that makes him such a great community member. So Iron Wolf, go ahead and tell our fans what you do for the Xbox community and the gaming community in general, and maybe how you got into gaming a little bit.
Well, I'm a regular member of Xbox Nation, and I also have a YouTube channel called Iron Wolf, the Unreal Gamer, and I mostly upload Gears of War content, whether it's from any of the free games. I don't really download. I don't really upload any Judgment content because we all know how we feel about that game.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know, man. And just regular Xbox news that I cover most of the times, and just give you my views and my impressions of everything. And what got me into gaming really is just the regular, original NES. And then since then I became a bit of a flip flopper. And I became a huge Sega guy. And since then, I'm still a big Sega guy till this day. If you look at my Twitter, I have Sonic as my profile picture. So I'm a big Sega guy at heart, but I'm an Xbox dude through and through.
That's right, baby. Yeah, no, Sega was a big part of my childhood as well. Had the Genesis, didn't get the SNES until later. And those Sonic games, man, those sucked me in. That franchise, man. It's so sad to see it kind of fade away.
That's why I always like, when we talk about the Xbox 360 and especially the Dreamcast, I speak of them very highly. Two of my favorite consoles of all time. I know we have some stuff to talk about regarding the 360 on the show, so look forward to that, man.
Yeah. It's very sad that the 360 has stopped production. I just want to, throw that out there to start off. I know I didn't, advertise that was going to be on the show, but I feel like we should give it give it good attention. That the 360 made a 10-year run. It was definitely one of the best consoles of all time. Definitely in the top three. Some people debate it's the best, but maybe we can go down the panel. Maybe Assassin can go first and give a little ode to the 360 and maybe give your like fondest moment or something playing on the 360, Assassin.
Well, I gotta say, the 360 in my heart was the best console. I met all my friends that I'm still sort of friends with on there, so it's always gonna have a place in my heart, and we're gonna miss you.
Very nice, very nice. Clowns, what were your fondest moments on the 360? Did you have a 360 right from launch, Clowns?
Actually, my first 360, Midnight gave me. He sent me the version with Madagascar.
Oh wow,
Because
nice.
yeah. So I mean, wow, biggest memory of 360. This is tough. I can't even call just one game. I liked everything I played on there.
It's reasonable, very reasonable. I mean, it was such a great console that it really is hard to just pin down one moment, for sure. Um, Iron Wolf, what would you say was your fondest memory on the 360? Something you totally like will remember for a lifetime on that console.
Well, it came at the perfect time of my life, to be honest with you. And like, I wasn't too like big on the OG Xbox, although I owned one, but I wasn't always online on that because them days I never really had access to the internet. So
Sure.
I used to do LAN parties and everything like that around my friends and everything. But on the Xbox 360, I have to say, uh, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and the first Gears of War game, I thought, oh my gosh, this is next gen. And it brought in a new era in HD gaming. And on top of that, the party chat system, like it was like the first console to actually, bring in like an achievement system, a 8-man party chat system, and many other things. And
Mm-hmm.
it had some great games. It was a great JRPG console too. I loved Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon, Infinite Undiscovery, Last Remnant.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The list goes on and on and on. There's so many great games, great exclusives on the Xbox 360. And for the first, let's say, 6 years, it started off pretty hot. And then I think over the last maybe 2 years, I think it kind of slowed down. It died down as far as exclusives go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's definitely a great console. And it really pushed a lot of indies as well. Because I remember downloading a lot of indies and Xbox Live Arcade. We saw some great HD remakes of some classics too. So I remember all those. So like every time they announce a backwards compatible game, it's already in my ready to install list because I downloaded them all.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, the 360 definitely ushered in a very significant milestone in gaming. Like if you look at like a line chart, like it goes up a little bit, in gaming in the gaming world. And yeah, you can talk about, how Sega Genesis had like amazing audio and the jump from 8-bit to 16-bit, but the jump from, you know, the Xbox OG, the PS2, the jump from that to the 360 was just so big, and it's everyone wanted it because of how big of a jump it was, and how, like you said, Iron Wolf, it's just next gen, bro. It was just next gen, not only in the graphics, but like you said, with the potty chatting, the social aspect. It was like the first time, really, I feel, at least in my opinion, that console gaming became social. Really, I mean, PC gaming had been social for a while. There was always chatting and Counter Strike and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it brought social activity to console gaming, and that's how I met these guys, through my Xbox. So I mean, it would have probably never happened if it weren't for the 360. So, oh man, it's sad. It is sad, and I don't know if there's really one moment. I'm kind of with Clowns on that. If there's one moment that can define it, but I'll tell you that Halo 3 midnight launch gave me the chills. Playing that in GameStop when it first came out, right at 12 o'clock, they threw those discs in. Playing Halo 3, it was nuts, man. That was nuts. And
Cloud gaming definitely became the norm on the Xbox 360 because it wasn't too big on the OG Xbox, although it was there. But on the 360, this became a lot of things became a standard, and we could look at the bright side of it. I know it's sad that they stopped production on the Xbox 360, but when you look at the bright side on the flip, you could say that look, now these developers are gonna really focus on the current consoles that we have now. So we're not gonna get no cross-generation games, and we're gonna see that leap that we've been waiting on for a long time. We're already starting to see it right now with Quantum Break, but we're gonna see more, as the years go by.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. And that's why even though it's sad, like it kind of for me it was kind of like, okay, it was time already, because I remember when the one came out, just like you said, there were these cross-gen games like Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor and stuff like that were kind of maybe held back a little bit because these developers had to program for both, so
Yeah, they had to work, within the parameters of DirectX 9 and 360 and PS3. So we really couldn't see that much of a difference besides resolution and frame rate. Like everything pretty much looked the same.
Right.
Like Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4, you couldn't really tell the difference.
Right.
But now you start to see that change.
Exactly. Clowns or Assassin, any parting shots before we move on from the 360 ode to its life here?
Well, Foxfire said a comment in the YouTube chat, and she mentioned that it had those limited edition consoles that like the Gears 3 one, and it made sounds when it opened and closed, and that's pretty cool. And I remember the Halo one. I think they even had a Call of Duty one, and that's the kind of stuff that I really loved about the 360. That it was unique like that.
Definitely agree.
I still have like 3 of those here. Like I have the Star Wars one, the R2D2 console, I have the Gears one. Yeah, and I have the Halo 4 console. So I have 3 of them. I'm never gonna get rid of them though. Never.
That R2D2 one was sexy back in the day.
Yeah, it came with the Kinect as well, the one I have.
Yeah.
The white Kinect. Look pretty slick.
Right. Assassin, remember that one? I know you're a huge Star Wars fan. Tell me.
I do. I do remember it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Connect Star Wars, whatever.
Assassin, remind me. Do you have a 360 anymore? Or?
No, I had to sell it when in order to get the one.
Yeah. All right, that's enough love for the 360. I mean, we could talk for hours about about the past, about all the fun experiences and stuff. And for me, it was in college, man. I mean, in college, I was one of the first ones who had 360, and people would just like storm into my room. We'd play like split screen. It was nuts, man. That was a nuts console. Definitely a memory maker. Definitely something to look back on 100% positively. I can't think of. I mean, yeah, you can say the Red Ring of Death, but other than that, I can't think of anything on the 360 that I would say negatively about it. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
Like
besides the first models that they had, they never had built-in Wi-Fi. You had to get like a Wi-Fi adapter.
Yeah.
I remember they had a HDMI port on the first one. So those were the things. Besides that, it was for me the perfect console.
Right. Yep. I agree with you, man. I agree. Speaking of new console generations or pseudo new console generations, the PSNeo is apparently pseudo confirmed. A lot of developers saying they've gotten some official documents. Some official documents have leaked on sites like NeoGAF, N4G, stuff like that. We've seen documents detailing the improvements that are going to be made with this console that is going to release possibly this year, as soon as this year, be shown off at E3 perhaps. So let's just get a general kind of overview of what we think of the PSNeo in terms of its place in this console generation. Do we think it lives alongside a PS4, or do we think it doesn't? Because that's really what it comes down to. Does it live in the same ecosystem other than the fact they play the same games, or is it really like an upgraded new experience that you're going to get from the Neo? Anyone?
Yeah, I could go. Well, as far as the PlayStation Neo goes, I think it's a great move by Sony, in my opinion. It will push gaming forward to some degree. And I do admit it does kind of suck for those day one buyers who, went out and got it. But when you look at it, it does kind of suck anyway, usually, because everyone that buys one day one, eventually they're going to get cheaper and, within 6 months. And then eventually 2, 3 years later, they're going to, announce a new model. So, technology is moving fast. And I believe, Microsoft and Sony, they have to keep up with one another. If not, how are they going to stay relevant?
Yeah, no, and it sucks, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about is the one thing that I don't understand. I don't know if whether it's confirmed or not. Is we don't know if this is going to have a Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray drive.
Right.
And we don't even know if it's going to have external hard drive support or even backwards compatibility with PS3 games. Because that's the only thing that would be a selling point for me personally. Because I'm not just going to go out and buy this PSNeo just because it has prettier looking graphics and it does 60 frames.
Right. Yeah, and especially
They got to give me more incentive.
that's an interesting point. I don't think I've really heard much of that. Are they planning on offering some new killer feature other than graphics and FPS? So that's interesting. Like if they drop a bomb and they're like, here we go, we've developed a new system now. Now it can handle PS3 backwards compatibility. Are people gonna the public that say, oh well, we bought the old one and the new one is a middle finger to us? Are they gonna change their minds and this thing's really gonna take off? That is an interesting take, Iron Wolf. Definitely interesting.
But they are doing forward compatibility, so maybe some of their old first party games they could probably throw in a patch, so all those games will be up to snuff. Let's just say we could have Infamous Second Son, or maybe The Order, or any kind of, or Bloodborne running in 60 frames. Right. So that's a good thing in itself, but we need a little bit more than just that. Backwards compatibility will be a killer thing, but I'm not too sure if the PS3 backwards compatible games will be forward compatible, run up to today's standards. I'm not too sure about that, but Phil Spencer did talk about a few things on his spring showcase event that backwards and forwards compatibility is going to become the norm. So I wonder if Sony are doing this right now.
Yeah, I mean it's.
You can find some riddles out there, so it's kind of got me confused.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting that he's bringing up that point that if Sony's going to try to do backwards compatibility, and nobody knows for sure, but I mean it's something that people that own PS4s are probably wanting, and they're seeing it with the Xbox One, and I kind of think it. I hate to say it, but Sony is kind of acting a little maybe conceited by throwing this out there, saying, oh, no, Microsoft's got to match us. What are they going to do? I mean, Sony just tries to beat Microsoft to the market every time. And I think the biggest problem here is that Sony already has Europe and Asia. And, those people, I think, are still going to continue to upgrade. I do think that people will trade in the old PS4s and get this Neo.
Interesting, yeah.
Taking a PS4 right now, you're not going to get too much for it. That's the problem. So
yeah,
we don't even know the price point for this. People are guessing that it's going to be $399. Some are guessing $499. So it could be either one of the two. But like I'm saying, it's got to have more killer features for me to go out and think about buying one of those.
Assassin, what do you think about the Neo in general, and will you consider upgrading? Oh, we lost somebody. Who did we lose? Oh, we lost Assassin. We're calling him back. I'll offer my opinion then while he's gone. Yeah, honestly, man, if I get the right trade-in value, I'm gonna do it because it's it's the next greatest thing, and others have said, and was said on Xbox Nation last night, it really boils down to, do I want the next best thing? Do I want the greatest experience? And yeah, I'm losing everybody. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Do I want the next greatest thing? Am I going to get enough value for it to make economical sense for me to trade in my PS4? Will they offer some sort of PS4 buyback program that will give me like $200 for my PS4 or $250 if it's $500. If they do that, I'm going to be really tempted, even though I think it's really shitty for them to slight the old owners and stuff. I really do. But I mean,
But I just think it just needs to be an upgradable PS4, so that way you don't have to buy another one all over again. So
yeah,
maybe like 2 years down the line, maybe they could upgrade. You know, you could upgrade the GPU on the thing. Maybe have a Thunderbolt connection to it. But yeah, external hard drive support I think is really important. It should have that. Because I just don't want to be opening up my PS4 and like performing a surgery on that thing. I just don't want to be doing stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
Screw it with a screwdriver. I don't want any of that.
I agree with you, Iron Wolf. I upgraded my PS4. I got a PS4. I upgraded the hard drive to a 2 terabyte a couple of months ago, and it was pretty easy to like slot it in or whatever. But people are gonna mess that up, bro. Like it's not as easy as plugging in an external on the Xbox One, and it doesn't do all the formatting for you. You have to download all these files from the net and know how to do some formatting and all this, and it's not easy. It's not user friendly, and yeah, that would be an awesome feature too. That's a good point. Very good point. Assassin, you back, bro?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts about the Neo? And would you think about trading your PS4 that you have in now if you got enough money? How much money would you have to get to trade it in and get this new one?
If let's just say the Neo is $500. Okay.
Yeah.
Or no, let's go 400.
Okay.
I expect from if it's just upgraded graphics and frames or whatnot, I expect 350 for my PS4.
350? No, you're dreaming.
Yeah, I think this whole Neo thing is just stupid.
A lot of people are with you, man. A lot of people are with you. It is more powerful, though. I'll throw up the slide that we have for, while we keep talking about it, I'll throw up the slide that shows the boost in speed and power and stuff. It's for the GPU, at least, you can't argue that the GPU is over 2 times more powerful than the old one, so, that is a pretty big improvement. It's not just like this slight little revision. And shout out to Desert She-Wolf who's watching the show. I heard her talk on Xbox Nation last night about trying to market it, simply as a slim and getting away from, making it look like they're sticking it to the original adopters. But with this much more power, there's no way they could get away with that, I don't think. So, it is attractive, though. It is an attractive product for consumers. I guess I've read a little bit about developers not really being too happy with the whole thing. Have you guys heard anything about that?
For some reason, I just don't. Maybe some developers are not happy. Maybe because they don't have access to it right now. But I'm pretty sure Sony, whoever they partner with, they probably spoke with them first before they even put these things into mass production, or maybe even started R&D on these things. So, there's no way like they would make something and just like ram it through to the developers like that. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Do you think Iron Wolf, this has been, in development from the beginning? Like they've been thinking about doing this? They had this on their roadmap, or do you think they kind of just wanted to wait it? Okay, go ahead.
Definitely. They've had this in the works, definitely. Probably like for the last 2 years. And, I know it sounds pretty harsh saying this, but whoever owned the PlayStation 4 like since launch, they've just been beta testing the thing. That's all they've been doing.
Yep.
Like this is going to be the real PS4 that's coming right now.
Yep. It's a real concern, and that is a real sentiment that people could rightfully have, and no one should blame them, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I've been talking to a lot of people on Twitter, back and forth about people just saying, oh, well, it's an upgraded thing. It's just like a cell phone. Like you upgrade, the Galaxy S6 comes out and then the Galaxy S7 comes out the next year. And, don't whine about it just because you don't have the best thing. But going on history, we've seen consoles, we just talked about the 360. It lasted for 10 years. We're used to being able to buy this $400, $500 box and being able to play our favorite games for, at least 6-7 years before the next one's even talked about. Now, you get the feeling, like you just said, that by adopting the PS4 vanilla or base or whatever you want to call it, you've just been helping Sony determine what needs to be improved, and you're gonna be stuck. You just did some free beta testing, and it sucks. That aspect of it really sucks.
Yeah, well, it's not only Sony. You never know. Microsoft could be doing the same thing. We'll just find out.
Right, right. Microsoft could just be keeping it under wraps, and there's been talk that the leaks that you kind of alluded to with the upgradable console slotting in a GPU kind of thing was talked about with the Xbox 1.5. I'm sure a lot of people listening to this are familiar with that. But that is I think a better option, like you said as well, because that those things aren't going to be as expensive as buying a new console, and those things just by the fact that they are added to the original or added to the base, it comes off as more optional than this new better system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's some of the games that Sony are probably going to show at E3. Most of it's probably going to run on Neo mode anyway, like Horizon Zero Dawn, probably that game. Don't know, maybe Shenmue 3, and many more of the exclusives, like the new exclusive Sucker Punch. I think Sucker Punch are working on a new IP. I heard. It could be a new Infamous game. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the next Gran Turismo could be really utilizing these chips in the box.
Right. And yeah, like you said with Horizon Zero Dawn, that got delayed, and now people are thinking, oh wait, are they delaying it because it actually runs like shit on the original PlayStation? They're gonna show it off on the new one and be like, look how much better it is than our E3 demonstration or Gamescom or whatever it was.
Well, definitely, like whoever, like let's just say if Sony do a marketing deal with, let's just say, Activision for like Destiny 2, maybe that's going to take the advantage of Neo mode and many other games where they have a deal with. Maybe even the next Call of Duty, who knows? But I think the developers that will take advantage of it is the ones that they're going to be partnering with. Maybe Watch Dogs 2, but then I'm hearing Watch Dogs 2 that's going to be using DirectX 12, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of play this like I will admit I'm not even a huge believer that this thing is real. I'm not. I know that people are saying the documents look very legit. Developers have commented on it, and this is the real deal. But I'm kind of wanting to wait and see, because it wouldn't be the first time that stuff has looked real and it actually came out and let people down. Yeah. So. I kind of want to wait and see.
It's going to be VR ready, definitely. Maybe you won't even need that, the external power unit for it. Maybe you could just plug it straight in. Who knows?
Yeah, man. If I can get fewer cords on my PSVR and not look like I'm dangling like a puppet or anything, like I'm all for that. I'm all for that. That would be a good value add for me for sure.
Yeah, but those cords are supposed to help you in case you accidentally walk out the window. They pull you back in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. There you go, Assassin. Right, Assassin. You get your bubble wrap yet for your room or what?
No, I don't even know if I'm going to buy PSVR. If I have the money, I'll buy boxes and boxes and boxes of it.
There you go. So you'll go out when the PSVR comes out. You'll go out to like Best Buy or something. Go pick up your VR, then stop at the UPS store. Get a big roll of bubble wrap your room so you don't hurt yourself.
Peanuts.
Yeah, well, I just think like if you don't need a processing unit like you do with a regular PS4, I think it would just be more convenient.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nobody wants wires all over their head looking like Predator or anything like that, or somebody who's plugged into the Matrix. We don't want any of that. We just want to, I prefer like HoloLens. You just put the thing on your head, and there you go. You're ready to play every game you want to play.
Right, and with the HoloLens that they showed off, it's the quote-unquote PC is already built into the unit, so you don't have to exactly plug in a million USB cords or anything like the VR stuff we've been seeing. And it's more promising. The augmented reality is more promising, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm with you there.
But Microsoft they're going to have to retaliate in some sort of way, because they have to keep up with Sony, because they're already behind with the regular with the vanilla PS4. And if this thing drops, then they're going to be further behind. So they're going to have to come up with something. They have to announce something at E3, maybe Gamescom, and they don't have to release it, or they don't really have to launch it the same day as PlayStation Neo. It could be maybe like six months after. As long as they have something there
It
that
may
can eat to that.
Yeah, Iron Wolf, it may be actually better to go later because if you announce it but say it's coming later, then, the more room between the tech, the better, because you could potentially throw in better stuff than the Neo, and then it'll just be a back and forth kind of like Cold War battle almost, if you will. Definitely.
Definitely. And they cannot really finish last because we also have the NX. That's going to be revealed at E3. And Nintendo, they're going to be doing a live show. There's no way they're going to do a direct. So they're going to do a live show. They're going to be showing this new beast that they have. So Microsoft, man, they have to show something besides just games. Games are good, and we love seeing games, but they have to announce new hardware.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm seeing things right now.
Yep. Agreed. What do
We
you? What,
don't know, like, in the offices at Redmond, I don't even know whether they're panicking or not, but I'm sure they're not, but they're still going to have to think at the back of their minds that, how are we going to, like, tackle this?
Right. What do you think about? What do you guys just think about what Iron Wolf just said about this being doomed for Xbox if this comes out and they don't put out, some new hardware, Assassin or Clowns? What do you guys think about that? Do you agree? You think it's doomed for Xbox? You think they're in big trouble or what?
Yep, absolutely. Microsoft has to answer this. They have to come back with something, and it shouldn't be no more than like 20 days later. If they wait more than that, it's going to be too late because Europe and Asia and everybody else is going to adopt to this, and Microsoft's going to be left behind. And then Microsoft's going to only rely on Windows 10 being universal, at that point, and probably just go with that. So, yeah, they need to do something. They should have something in the works, and they need to respond.
For sure.
Yeah, because we cannot really have it like the 360 was. Because remember, the 360 dropped first before the PS3, and they already had the majority of the market share. So we don't want the same thing with this Neo. They cannot leave a big of a gap. They have to really give them at least 3 to 6 months, and then bring out their own one. And maybe if they don't announce it at E3, then they should hold their own like particular event.
Yep.
Maybe at the Microsoft campus, and invite the press over and just unveil this new thing, wherever
Right.
they have.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. I wasn't even thinking that when I was saying that earlier about waiting. More time, the better. So there's got to be a delicate balance. Like you wait too long, you lose the market share. You wait too little, it's people are.
Now,
It's not
I
going to
could
be
wait 6 months, but like some people, they're not going to wait a whole year for a new Xbox. They
right.
probably buy PlayStation Neo and stick to that.
Right.
Because the majority out there, they don't like to spend too much money. That's the problem. Besides, now people like us, we'll end up buying everything anyway.
Right.
You know.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Assassin, you're the last word on this. Is this Doom for Xbox?
I think they're gonna be in trouble, but I think they're gonna say something. I believe in what they have to say. So
Yeah, I can't imagine Spencer not, keeping up with PS4, especially as J Street said in the chat on Twitch, especially if the regular low class PS4 is already beating the Xbox One in sales, and now they're gonna release a better unit.
Not only in sales, but in power too. So
Right, exactly. And raw power,
perception
yeah.
wise, it's not looking good.
Yep. So yeah, PSNeo, feel what you will. Let us know your thoughts. Oh, actually, a thought just came in on the YouTube channel. I want to read off. Desert She Wolf on YouTube chat says, "I think it comes down to what the Neo really is, because if PlayStation is going to be coming out with a new console after the Neo, then Microsoft could wait some time before announcing the new Xbox, because Xbox has its fans no matter what." Interesting. So you think if a PS5 is definitely in the pipeline, then Xbox can wait a little bit, or no?
Well, Yoshida did say that he doesn't know whether there's going to be a PS5, and because PS4 is so successful and it's selling hotcakes right now, I don't see them wanting to release a PS5 anytime soon. I don't think they're in a rush at all, to be honest with you. I just think, they're going to keep the they'll try to keep the momentum going with the PS4 and possibly this Neo that they come out with. But since this is selling like crazy, I think they'll want this generation to last like the PS2 did.
Right.
They want it to be as successful. They probably want it to beat the record of the PS2.
Right. Yeah, and they have the potential to do so for sure, especially with, like you said, with the speed and the popularity they have on this one. I'm sure they'll add both the Neo and this one together when talking about general sales of the PS4. So I mean, they definitely have the ability to beat the PS2 for sure.
Exactly. So I just don't think they'll be in a rush for PS5 right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
if
probably.
we do see a PS5, we're probably talking maybe 2019, maybe even 20. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, so maybe that is why Yoshida, like you alluded to, maybe that's why Yoshida kind of was like, oh, we don't know if the PS5 is even going to happen because they don't want to even hint at it. They just want to ride the success of the PS4 for sure.
Well, that's what Microsoft were doing with the 360 because it was selling so good. They weren't even thinking about releasing the next gen console until Sony came out with the PS4. Then they thought, okay, we gotta, that's it. We gotta just unveil this thing wherever they had on the works. But yeah, I do agree with you, man. They do have to retaliate in some way and stick it out this gen, but try catch up to the PS4 in some sort of way. And then whether we're going to see a next PS5 or Xbox 2, we could talk about that another time. But for now, they need to just, what can I say? They need to be on par with the PlayStation 4 right now.
Definitely.
At minimum, at least be on par right now, man. Because they are in trouble. They are behind. They always got a remount. And they're losing in sales worldwide. So, Bill has to do something, man.
Definitely. So we will see in 2 short months. Not even 2 months till E3. I can't believe it's so soon. Last E3 feels like it was just yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's it for PSNeo. If you guys have any more thoughts that we didn't get to, you want us to know, definitely hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or somehow individually or at the Four Guys channel, and definitely hit up Iron Wolf. His information is cycling below his picture if you're watching the video version, and if you're not, we'll get his information in the notes so you can hit him up as well and follow him on his various excellent channels, especially his YouTube, because his YouTube videos are really good. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see some of your YouTube videos in a second because we're gonna talk about some Gears of War 4 beta. I know not everyone is going to be able to be in it quite yet, but if you played a little bit of the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War that released last year on the Xbox One, you, I guess, received a code on Tuesday. Some people didn't. Assassin, tell us about that. You guys didn't get your code until later?
We didn't get our codes, I think, what was it, yesterday? Towards the middle of the day?
That sucks, man. That always sucks when codes roll out on a rolling basis, because some people are playing it and you're like, oh man, I want to play it, it's the next greatest thing, and then you're waiting, and all of a sudden that code comes in, you're like, damn it, Microsoft, why couldn't you get that quicker to us? But I think this isn't the first time that's happened, so I think this rolling out system is definitely here to stay, because they don't want to tax the servers or anything like that. So
yeah, it does suck definitely when they just send them out in waves. You would have think that everybody would get at the same time, right? But I guess they want to send them out in waves so they could just test the servers and see how many people are coming on and see how it can handle the servers, so how the servers can handle the game. I mean, my bad, but
right.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Titanfall because the same thing happened with that too.
Yeah,
I remember getting my code 3 days after. I do remember, 3 days after everybody else got theirs, I got mine, and it kind of sucks.
But when you do get the code, this Gears of War beta is actually pretty damn good. I think a lot of people are responding pretty favorably to it. Obviously, the diehards are, but I know Iron Wolf has some of his, qualms with the game, things that he doesn't like. But I know Assassin probably, Assassin was telling me in Twitter a lot of things he had to say about it, so I want to let him go first. What do you think is good and what's bad with the Gears of War 4 beta, Assassin?
Well, I'm gonna start with the good. I think the game looks good for for the state it is in right now, beta, or they say alpha.
I mean,
they said
it's
on Twitter.
6 months until launch. It's definitely is in beta, quote unquote. I mean, this is real beta.
Well, they said it was alpha, just they used beta because everyone knows what beta means. And,
Gotcha.
But I mean, I've only had some small problems with the audio glitch here and there, but it all it sounds good. It plays good. No frame drops, nothing. As for the bad things, it's really just one thing. It's a little gun that I like to call the Nasher. It's
That's
pretty
Gears
broken.
though. That's Gears, boy. Come on.
No, it needs a nerf, and like a huge nerf.
Now, you do know that on this panel right now, you have a man that in his avatar is holding an Asher, so I don't think he's going to agree with you on that one, Assassin.
Well, too bad, because the Nasher needs a nerf.
What do you...
What?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead, Assassin, I'm sorry.
I think right now it's shooting out like nukes. Right now it needs to be shooting out Nerf pellets, because it's too OP.
What do you think, Iron Wolf? We're showing some of your footage.
I respect his opinion, Assassin's opinion. I respect that totally. But the good side, I want to talk about the good side. I think the Nasher is consistent. It can have a bit of a range. Like sometimes dudes will be shooting you from far and you'll be down immediately. So I see where Assassin is coming from. But I think the Lance is overpowered in my opinion. That's one thing I do have a problem with. They should have had the same hit damage as Gears of War UE. The snub pistol, I think, is a little bit weak, in my opinion, compared to like previous Gears games. And the hammer burst is too much recoil and it's very weak. And other than that, I think the drop shot is pretty cool. The boom shot, everything is like up to snuff. Everything is pretty much the way it should be. One thing I don't like is the grenade tagging on walls and shit. I really don't like that.
Yes, I watched a couple streams where people were tagging people were running by grenades. They were literally like 30 feet away from the friggin' thing, and it tripped. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? He was so far away. There's no way that would trip in like Gears of War 3. There's no way that would trip.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get. That the blast radius, they have to decrease it somehow because you could be like 15, 20 meters away from that blast and it'll still kill you. So that's one complaint I do have over the game. And when you're in spectator mode, I don't like the filters that they have. I just want to see the graphics of what they are. I want Ghost Cam back like Gears of War 3 because I think that was pretty cool. Like you could see what the opposite team is doing, where they're hiding, and then you could tell your team where they're at and everything. Because sometimes the last dude loves hiding so much, and sometimes they play down the clock.
Yep.
And yeah, there's just so much things that I would like to see in the game, like a theater mode like Halo 5. I like the ranking system. It's pretty much like Halo 2. I like that. And the graphics, I wouldn't be too worried about the graphics, to be honest with you, because like Assassin was saying, it's in alpha right now. We're 6 months away from launch. And for what it is, it still looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I do know that it's a bit rough on a few edges. They have low resolution textures, and the character models don't really look all that great right now. It doesn't look like they're fully polished right now, but I know when the game is ready for shipping, it's gonna look beautiful.
Yeah.
And that campaign will definitely be fire as well, for sure.
Yeah. The people in the YouTube chat people in the Twitch chat. Let's get to the Twitch chat first because there's few people in there. J Street saying he really loves Gears and this beta is really cool. The YouTube chat, She Wolf is saying never cared for the multiplayer, just want the campaign. And after Judgment, I feel like people on Twitter, I've been seeing people have realistic concerns that the campaign is going to really suck. But I think people got to give it a chance. It's going in a different direction. The game is definitely taking on a darker, more thriller kind of theme. more horror kind of theme like the first Gears had. I think you guys need to give it a chance. Don't sell it, don't put it off because of what happened with Judgment. Like
Oh,
Judgment's
I
definitely different.
I gotta say something here.
Yeah.
As a hardcore gamer that spends like 16 hours a day gaming, probably, I never liked any of the Gears of War stories at all whatsoever. I was looking forward to this one because it looks smooth, crisp, clean. I like the graphics. Even if they're going to touch it up, I think the graphics are fantastic right now as they stand. But the multiplayer is just not for me, and I guess it's just the way that Gears was designed with the way they roll and the cover system. I was talking to Xbot while I was playing Gears beta, and I was like, I feel like I'm a muscular, uh, under height Snow White dwarf rolling around. That's what I felt like. As my first time playing Gears multiplayer, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, the emphasis is always, ever since I think probably Gears 2. Gears 1 not really that much. I feel like ever since Gears 2, the emphasis has been on like wall bouncing, getting around, rolling around a lot. No really like the cover the cover mechanics that you use in the campaign don't really translate too well to what you do in multiplayer. You got to be really a lot of twitching going on, like we're seeing in the video right now, a lot of wall bouncing. So, but I do like that they kind of, even though they diminish the wall bouncing a little bit, Clowns, you're still thinking it's a lot of rolling around and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing with some people that look like they've been playing it like since the day it dropped, and they were just like rolling from cover to cover, like sliding cover to cover, and I thought that was kind of cool. When I tried to do it, it didn't work out so well. I got killed a lot.
Iron Wolf, what is the secret to wall bouncing, even in this new one where the wall bouncing has been, I guess there's like a cooldown almost, if you want to call it that,
Yeah,
right?
they have a new cooling system for the wall balancing. So you can only do it a certain amount of time, doing a few seconds, and then if you try to wall cancel again, then you'll end up rolling towards the cover. So I think that's pretty good because some people like in Gears of War 3 and Gears of War Judgment, they used to abuse that wall cancel thing, and it made the game look like it made the game look like it was glitching. Like the game really looked like it was glitching every time you see somebody do that. So I guess this new cooldown system is pretty good for the game, and I like the fact that you could active reload without even firing a shot because you look weird just shooting in midair or shooting on walls before you even active reload.
Right.
Because you have to understand the whole active reload thing, that whole mechanic. It's more to do with the active damage boost. So every time you shoot somebody after you active reload, it will really boost the damage of your opponent, and they could go down immediately, or they could even die immediately. So and some people are not happy with the whole active thing, and I could respect that. But hopefully, the coalition, they could give us an option to turn off active, on and off kind of thing.
Right.
And for a competitive environment, I'd say nade tagging on walls. They should give us an option to even turn that on and off as well.
Right.
Especially in private matches and things.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. You should definitely have control of that stuff in private for sure.
But yeah, Rod Ferguson did tweet out that there's going to be a new reveal tomorrow. They're going to reveal. I don't know what they're going to reveal. Whether it's going to be a trailer, a new multiplayer map. I have no clue, but I'm pretty excited about that. But like when it comes down to the actual gameplay, it is very smooth. The gameplay itself plays very fluid. I like the movement in the game. It is a hybrid between UE and 3. The roadie run kind of reminds me of 3, and the wall bouncing is like between 2 and 3. I guess they kind of use Gears of War 3 as the foundation and build upon that and add a whole new dimension to it. I think they did a great job. Now all they have to do is just polish this thing and just tweak out a few things that I'm complaining about, and the other guys in this panel are complaining about, and then we'll have the perfect Gears game.
Yeah. From what I've seen of it, it just looks amazing. I can't wait for the full game to come out, and Clowns, I know like a lot of people that just do hate the Gears multiplayer, so I mean I could definitely respect your opinion. I personally love it, and I think I think the speed of it is exhilarating on quite honestly, but it does require, way more skill than one would think. Like people can watch this video and think, oh, people are just, bouncing back and forth, and they may get lucky and land next to someone and then blow their head off with a shotgun. Like where's the skill in that? But I think there is skill involved with it. I think.
Oh, there's a lot of skills involved. Like in a game like this, you cannot really stay behind cover like you do in a campaign. You have to be on the move all the time, because if you're behind cover, like maybe 2 seconds after, somebody be about right behind you, and they'll probably blow your head off. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you have to be on the move every time.
The thing for me is though that people in real life do not run like that.
Oh yes, well that's true. That's certainly true. That's true. Assassin, you.
Yeah, but
Oh, go ahead.
it's not really It's not supposed to be a realistic game anyway. It's a sci-fi game, like kind of like Halo. So you're gonna get like crazy stuff in the game anyway.
These these guys are members of the COG because they're superhumans, right? I mean, like, well, they're not really superhumans, but they demonstrate physical skill that's beyond that of mere men.
They're larger than life for sure, man.
So, but I mean, I do see, I 100% see where you're coming from. J Street in the Twitch chat is always shocked to hear that you're not a Gears fan, Clowns. You've said it a few times on the show. He's always shocked, but I can see where you're coming from. Especially because I know like the kind of games you're into and the realistic shooters that you're into. So like I can definitely see where you're coming from. But J Street's still shocked to this moment.
Easy, okay. But there's one complaint I do have about it as well. Like one more.
Yeah.
Are they like female characters? I think the hitboxes. I think they need to like tweak that a little bit more, because I don't know. It just seems like I'm trying to shoot a toothpick every time I'm shooting, man. It's just like, man, it's just crazy. Like if I shoot against a swarm enemy or one of the male characters, I don't have a problem. But these female characters, I feel as though there's a disadvantage there. I feel like if I buy the game on October the 11th and I play multiplayer, most guys are going to be the female characters. I could see that happening. Don't be surprised if you play multiplayer and you see like 5 Kates that you go up against.
Yeah, no, from what I've seen, like I'm watching Twitch streamers and they're all using like the skinnier characters. I agree with you. And the hitboxes look different to me. And I don't know why that would be. Like, when you play Rocket Cars and you have like Rocket Cars, holy shit. That's a hybrid between Soccer Cars and Rocket League. I've been listening to too much Mooch. So if you play Rocket League in the trucks, in the vans, in the cars, like have pretty much the same hitbox, there isn't really an advantage to using like the different size cars or whatever. I think that's how it should be in shooters. Like don't give the skinnier people the advantage,
Or just give the women some meat. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be the perfect solution.
Yeah. Make them look more like the men.
I'm not saying that make them huge and make them into a blob, but like make them, I don't know, just make them look like women. Add a bit of meat and then we're good.
Right. Assassin, anything more about Gears that you took into consideration? Had some impressions? Anything that we haven't talked about, or anything you agree with that we've said so far?
Well, 2 things.
Yeah.
The Nexus still needs to be nerfed. And everyone, I feel like, that's on the enemy team would be good at Dark Souls, because that's all they do is roll.
Right.
Just saying. But yeah.
Well, are you happy with the size of the maps or anything like that? Do you think smaller, bigger?
I hate small-sized maps. I think they're boring, and I mean that's why I hated like not Ghost. What was it? Advanced Warfare. I don't like the arena in Halo. I don't like the small maps in Star Wars Battlefront. I don't know. So.
Yeah, but even though like, yeah, Gears have smaller maps than Battlefield, for instance, or whatever. But even though like the game is not intended to have a lot of players, you still think the maps are too small, or?
I feel like if everyone wasn't sliding like they're on an ice rink every 2 damn seconds, it would be actually fun. And remove the Nasher and it'd be even more fun.
Well, that's definitely not going to happen. That's like the staple of Gears of War. Even though the Lancer should be, the Nasher is the staple.
Well, give it a huge nerf. Shoot nerf pellets.
Yeah, the range definitely needs a little bit of balancing for sure. Like the downing range is a little too high on it for sure. I would say.
I agree.
Other than that, looks awesome. It's very, very smooth, like we've said. So I'm excited to get more into it. And people watching, feel free to add us on Xbox. Our gamer tags are below our pictures for all of us. So feel free to add us and say you saw us in the show or something. And yeah, we'd definitely be up to playing with our viewers and stuff. So definitely do that. One thing I forgot to say is now that I'm watching this video, and I mean I noticed it before, but it reminded me by watching the video, is that the blood splattering when you get a close-up kill with the Nasher, that's pretty cool. I like that on the screen.
Yep, it's good.
That's sexy.
Sometimes that may not be a good thing, because when you're getting all this blood splat on screen, like, you won't know who's next to you. You won't know if you have an opponent next to you or behind you or ahead of you. So it'll kind of like, I don't know, it'll distract you a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So I could see the good side to it with the whole graphical effect, but sometimes it can be a distraction.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. For me, I think it looks cool, like as watching it, but maybe playing it, it's not going to be as cool, like you said. Especially if you're in it. Like I go check out Iron Wolf's YouTube channel. He's got a video where he 5v1 the team, and he was the one and just took them all out. And when you're in a close situation like that with 5 enemies with your Nasher, like getting that animation on the screen is probably gonna screw you up a little bit. So I do see where you're coming from for sure. That was an epic moment, by the way.
Yeah, I was Twitch streaming that, and I got that 5v1 clutch, and I thought, is there a way I could download this video, because I really want to download that Twitch video.
Yep.
And I found I had to do it, and I had to trim it and just upload it straight onto my channel. I had to put that up.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, there was one moment I nearly got a 6v1 clutch. I ended up dying when there were 2 opponents left. So
that sucks.
Frustrating to me, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I just thought, look, for them, this is a make or break. Like, if this Gears of War completely fails, then I don't know where they're gonna go with the Gears of War franchise.
Yeah.
Because originally, like, the Coalition, who was formerly known as Black Tusk,
Right.
they were working on Shanghai, and that looked like a very interesting project that they were working on, and it was a new IP. It was meant to be the next big Halo, but they dropped it and ended up shelving that for Gears of War,
Right.
which I understand. Gears of War's proved itself, and new IPs is always a risk. So
Yep.
I hope someday they'll work on that game. If the Coalition become a bigger studio and they have more people working there, hopefully they could get back onto that project and maybe see where we can go from there.
Definitely. I really hope it does succeed, because it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like, not just on the 360. It really is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Really got me into third-degree shooters in general. I really stayed away from them. And Gears of War came out and people started copying it and made other games substantially better that used third-person mechanics. And now I'm really into third-person games and third-person shooting games. And, I thank Gears for that. So I really hope that, people...
The interest is definitely there. Like, that trailer got 8 million views. It surpassed Halo. So
Right.
you can definitely tell that this game, it's going to be successful to some degree.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's going to do Halo numbers or not, but that remains to be seen. But I could still see there's an interest there.
Right. We shall see. People get in that beta. When does it go open for everyone? Or
On the 25th, I believe, it'll open up to everybody. Like, you don't even have to own an Ultimate Edition. It'll just be open for everybody. But right now, just the Ultimate Edition guys, they end up getting it right now for early access. Now, some people got it before the 18th. Like, I was fortunate enough to get on the 16th, I believe.
yeah,
And I just think, it does end on the 1st of May, I believe. So it's it's a good 2 weeks that you're going to be enjoying this game for.
That's awesome. I love these long betas where we get a taste and then it builds up anticipation, really. Like it really does. Halo 5, it worked perfectly. Built up the anticipation and, Halo came out and I think Halo did pretty well. So, yeah.
Definitely. I just think that they shouldn't really cater to the vocal minority for the multiplayer and for this game in general. They shouldn't really cater to the casuals either. I think they need to find that middle ground and that nice sweet spot in the middle.
Right.
That way everybody's happy. It'll be really hard to achieve that, but I'm sure, the coalition, they could do something.
Right. So that's Gears 4. Play it, enjoy it. Let us know what you guys think about it. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it after you get access, if you don't already have access via the Gears of War Ultimate Edition early access. I said access a lot. Moving on to the next couple topics. We got 2 more topics tonight. Hopefully we can get them done quickly because I have dinner reservations. Star Wars Battlefront came out with a DLC recently, and we didn't really talk about it because we had interviews with developers and we had some other like really big shows that we did for Quantum Break and stuff. So we weren't really able to get to, and I don't think anyone on the panel actually had Outer Rim or the DLC or the season pass rather before before recently. So finally got our hands on some Battlefront DLC, and I don't know, are you into Battlefront at all, Iron Wolf, or is that not your thing?
Well, I played the beta, and then I played the early access through EA Access, and then after that, I just stopped playing it. I got some of the achievements I had to get for it, and then I just stopped playing it. I know there was a survival mode, which was pretty interesting. It was like Horde mode.
Yep.
And other than that, it was just I felt like it was very easy. It felt like a very casual shooter to me. Not knocking those who are playing it. Obviously, the game is still fun. Don't get me wrong, but I had so many games to play in the, I had a backlog of games to play. I had a full pile here, so whether or not I'm going to get back to that game, that remains to be seen. But right now, I'm looking forward to other games right now, like Mirror's Edge and Doom. So Battlefront is the least of my priorities right now.
Right. Well, there are a lot of people that are still into it. Not as many as EA had hoped, and a lot of people had hoped because this was supposed to be the next coming of Jesus Christ in gaming. I mean, people were anticipating this for a long time, and then it came out and it kind of like what you said, it's easy for the hardcore gamer, and it was very basic. But now, Assassin, since you are our resident Battlefront hardcore guy, is Outer Rim the savior to Battlefront? Has it made it better?
I think some things it made it better, and some things it could improve on. Like, for instance, the whole entire DLC is based on small maps, not the big, awesome maps like on Walker Assault or anything else.
It's my biggest complaint because, Walker Assault, I don't have numbers on this, but Walker Assault to me, I would, from my experience with getting in matches and stuff, is the most popular mode. And you make a DLC that you can't even play on the DLC in that mode, like that's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, their next DLC on Cloud City is going to be all based on big maps.
Right, but that's the next one, bro.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Sad face. Sad face. Well, at least they're planning on it.
Yeah.
I just feel as though this game should have had a campaign.
Yeah, dude.
Campaign.
Yeah, campaign would have been epic on this for sure, especially with how often.
Looks beautiful though. Like the game looks amazing. Like it's just everything. Like from the environments to the character models, you just think you're in the movie itself.
Yeah, the graphics and the sound even. Like if you throw on some Turtle Beaches or some really nice headphones, Astros even, or you have a really nice surround system, like you feel like you're in Star Wars. They could have used the authenticity a little bit better to create some sort of valuable single player or co-op campaign mode for to sink you further into the Star Wars universe, and instead it almost feels like it's just a regular third-person shooter with Star Wars just thrown on top of it. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I feel as though it should have been like a $40 game instead of a $60. But I know there's been some sales on the Xbox store, digital sales, and I think they dropped it down to 30 a few times. So, but yeah, like all in all, like when it comes down to retail and digital, this game shouldn't have been $60. Like no way.
Right. Yeah, multiplayer only game essentially.
I'll say the same thing about Titanfall as well. Like
Yep.
same thing. I'm kind of glad Titanfall 2 does have a multiplayer, but yeah, that should be a $60 game. But like the first one shouldn't have been $60.
Right. Yep. Definitely agree. So Assassin, tell us what are the best new features or best things about Outer Rim that you've been really enjoying? Like the guns, or are the guns better? Like, are they worth it? Are the new Nub and Greedo, are those two heroes really good? Or tell us what's good about it.
The two new heroes are actually not that bad. A lot of the stuff is just taking things from others, like the hero guy, whatever. He has a turret and a stupid little mine thing. I forget what they're called again. But I mean,
proximity bomb, yeah.
Yeah,
Proximity bomb.
Or that's Greedo. I don't know, but they both have something like that, and then he has like a pulse cannon. Like, I feel like they could have done a little bit more, but I mean, these guys have been in the movies for like a whole 30 seconds. Last three of the movies, so
Yep.
I don't know how much they could have done, but the game mode extraction I think is probably one of the best things. It's basically there's supplies on this little cart thingy. The rebels need to get it to their transport and then take off. So I mean, it's a long game mode. It can last like 30 minutes sometimes because they're
Really?
not like 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's long. Because it starts you off like 10 minutes, and if you don't reach the checkpoint, it's over. If you reach the checkpoint, it adds more time, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, as for the weapons, the two free ones that everyone has access to, they're probably the best. The other ones, they're all right. They're not all too good.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Like, it's not even worth it for the weapons.
But I feel like it gives you something to work for. Kind of like the Battlefield assignments.
Yes.
Gives you something to do, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, the new Jabba the Hutt contracts or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you gotta check back sometimes because, like a few days ago, they gave a trait card to everyone for free. Well, yeah, it's been like 8,000 credits for it, but it kind of breaks the game a little bit. It pistol fire does more damage and you take less damage.
Wow, that is a little broken.
And then the last tier 3 normal blaster fire is upgraded. It breaks the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, but you take less damage, but you don't like recover from damage as quickly or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit slower. But if you have the DLC, they have an adrenaline stim or something which increases your health regen very quickly. You can also survive if Vader starts choking you and you pop that before he does. You can survive it.
Interesting. See, that's kind of broken too. I don't like that. That's the adrenaline stim you're talking about?
Yeah. It's the liability.
Yeah, the new start. Yeah, right. Ew. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, but the maps are cool other than the fact that they're small, like they're detailed and nice.
Yep. They're nice. They're a little bit bigger than the smaller maps that are in the game.
Cool.
So, which is nice.
Clowns, you play any of it? Of the Outer Rim?
Ever since they nerfed the homing rockets, the game is terrible.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, dude, they needed to do that. The homing rocket was OP.
People just need to learn to dodge better. It takes skill to dodge those homing rockets. An assassin just couldn't dodge them.
Yeah, when they were blowing up on the other side of the rock and still killing me, like...
Yeah, I'm with Assassin on that one. I have some clips about that. That happening to me.
Especially there's not much cover in a lot of the maps.
Well, me and Assassin, we had a homing rocket face-off, and I won 3 out of the 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the truth comes out. That's why.
No.
All right. Anything else more to say about it? I wanted to throw it in there because I know we didn't talk about it. And Battlefront really is a big game. I mean, even though it didn't do as well as people expected, I mean, it is a big game, and it is the first paid DLC. But is it safe to say that people are looking forward to the next DLC a little bit more? That Bespin DLC that's coming out in
Yep.
June.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
So-
apparently,
Well, the game is sold like 30 million copies on all platforms. So, the game has been successful. It's sold really, really great. But as far as content, it just like that content. That's all it is. It has some good modes in there. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know the name of that mode where you fly around and everything.
Oh, the
That-
Fighter Squadron. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that one.
Squadron. Yeah, that squadron mode. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm playing Star Fox in multiplayer. You know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just like Star Fox. Assassin, are these maps you can't play on Fighter Squadron, can you?
no,
Nah, it sucks,
they're
man.
too small.
Maybe with the next DLC, with the Bespin one, we'll get that. And also with the Bespin DLC, I think they announced that the new characters are Lando, and who was the other one?
Some bounty hunter that we saw like 2 seconds in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, really? Well, at least Lando Calrissian is what pretty much everyone wanted on the
Yeah.
Rebel side, so that's
Wow.
cool.
But apparently, I didn't know about this till today. There's hackers on the PC version.
Oh, good. Great. That's another thing that's going to
Nice.
make your game worse
Yep.
than it already is. All right, moving on from Star Wars. And for the last topic, something that Iron Wolf can actually get on. The Doom beta. So people aren't really impressed with it, Iron Wolf. Do you agree with them? You think that the negative flack? I mean, if you look on Steam, only about 40% of it is positive, 60% is negative, and a lot of people are just saying this isn't Doom. You know, this isn't what people want from Doom. It has nothing really to do with the franchise. It's more like Halo almost. Do you agree with these people? Did you like it? or-
I wholeheartedly disagree with that because, this game is very fast paced and, Halo it's fast, but it ain't as fast as Doom. And
Yeah.
I've played the alpha and I've also played the beta.
Yep.
I've never played it on Steam. I played it on Xbox, and I've been having so much fun playing this game. Although it's just the one map I've been playing, I believe it's only one map, and I think the weapons are real good in the game. I like the sniper in the game. I like the shotty in that game is
Oh, it's
it's
OP.
key. You can do some serious damage with the sniper, and then when you go in demon mode, like when you go on that killing spree, I think that's pretty cool. The multiplayer, I've had so much fun playing that game. I'm really looking forward to what else they have in store with that game, especially with the campaign and the whole map editing thing that they have going on.
Yeah. The map editing should be really interesting. The campaign,
Yeah,
I'm buying this game for the campaign, flat out. Like, there's so many other multiplayer games I play. Doom campaigns have always been so damn good. That's what I'm excited about with this.
Yeah, and when they say like Halo, I guess they're talking about like the armor that they have.
Exactly, yeah.
Kind of reminds you of the Spawn armor, but like it's nothing like it doesn't play like Halo.
Right.
Not one bit.
In the chat, the Jizzle on the Twitch chat says it's not Doom, it's like Quake 2 to be precise, but not as good. So if you guys are old school gamers out there and have played a Quake game, I would tend to agree with that assessment. I think it does play a lot like Quake. Who's played Quake here? Any of you guys?
Yeah, I did. But
Yeah.
I think, I do agree. It does play a little bit like Quake. I think it's like a hybrid between Unreal and Quake.
Yeah.
It does have some Unreal in the game too, especially with some of the weapons that they have and the sniper and everything. Kind of reminds me of Unreal.
Yeah.
I just love the speed of the game and the fact that it's 60 frames per second. And the game has to evolve. You cannot really have the same Doom. You do not want a Doom 3.5.
Yeah.
You want a brand new experience. You want the whole next generation Doom. And I'm kind of glad that they're rebooting the franchise and bringing you this game.
Yep.
It looks gorgeous graphically. I'm not going to complain over this game. I like the animations in the game. I think the hitboxes, they're pretty much on point too.
Mm-hmm.
I have no complaints over this game.
J Street in the on the Twitch chat says that shotgun though OP all day. That is the one thing that really pisses me off about the Doom beta. I mean, I don't use a shotgun. Maybe if I used it, I'd be happy with it. But if I'm going head to head with you with the rocket launcher and I'm getting outdueled by the shotgun, like I'm pissed, man. That pisses me off.
Maybe that shotgun does have a little bit of range. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe that's probably what it is. Why people don't like it, but
yeah.
you know,
It is beast though. When you get a kill with it, it's beast.
yeah, the reload is pretty fast on that shotgun as well. Maybe they should maybe slow down the reload, maybe
Yeah, yeah.
so that way it'll give somebody an opportunity to counter whatever you're trying to do.
Assassin and Clowns, what do you guys think about the Doom beta? Do you agree with the community?
Yeah.
I thought the beta was kind of boring. It was uneventful, not exciting. It really didn't pull me in.
Even for an old school gamer like you, this doesn't harken a little bit back to those old FPS games we used to play back in the day, Clowns?
No, I find Mega Man and Sam and Max and Leader Shoot Larry a lot more exciting.
Assassin, you agree with Clowns? Not exciting?
It's boring. I'd rather play the original Doom. I'm having more fun playing that than the multiplayer.
But see, that's campaign. Maybe the Doom campaign is gonna be like a classic. You know, maybe the campaign that we haven't seen anything about. You know.
But it still has that old school arena feel to it.
It does have that. Yeah, it definitely does have that. The old school arena feel that it doesn't have that I would have liked is the fact that you don't pick up weapons anymore. Like I don't really. When I think of Doom or like Quake or like those old school shooters, I think about running around, you pick up the power weapons, you know. But loadouts to me in a game like this is just a little weird to me. Not that I hate it, but it's very weird. It's still weird to me to go in, you know, between matches and change my loadouts and stuff. That's a little weird to me in a game like this. But
You understand what you're saying?
yeah, it could be just me. I don't know.
No, it's always cool going around, for playing the game for map control and fighting for the power weapons like you do in Halo.
Yeah.
But I guess they wanted you to have a weapon that's OP from the get go,
Right.
so you could change your loadout whenever you want. I do really love the sniper in that game though.
Oh, it's really
Sniper's-
good. Really good. I agree with
And
you.
I don't know, I just feel as though like I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're walking in Doom, when you're just walking, it feels like you're running faster than Halo 5. Just walking in Doom is
Oh
faster
yeah.
than running in Halo 5.
It's quick. It's quick.
Very fast.
It's really fast paced, and that's something even like with Black Ops. Like I feel like it's even more fast paced than Black Ops because there's like the narrow corridors you're used to, where you get into gunfights with people like that you'd be used to back in the day. You know, it's not as open as some of these other Twitch fast shooters and stuff. So, you know, you really have to engage people 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, and you know that's an old school feel about it. So,
And what else is old school is that it has hip fire and no aiming down the sides.
right.
And that's one thing I do love about this game.
Yeah, definitely. J Street in the Twitch chat says it's too damn fast. He says exactly, it's too damn fast. See, that's how Doom and Quake and shooters like that have always been, though. You know what I mean? So I'm excusing it. I think I actually enjoy the fast pacedness of it.
I'm with you on that one, man.
Yeah. And you know what else I enjoy that we didn't even say anything about is that new mode that, you know, isn't like Quake at all, where it's almost like domination, but the capture point moves around. What's the name of that again? I kind of forget. Assassin, do you remember the name of it?
No.
It's like
I haven't played
Warpath
that.
or something like that. If somebody knows, say it in the chat. But yeah, that mode where like the capture spot moves around, I'm into that. I'm into that. That's a good mode.
Is it like King of the Hill?
Yeah, like King of the Hill, not Domination. Sorry, like King of the Hill, that mode. Yeah. And then it ticks up to like 200. The score goes up to 200. And that hill just like, instead of like, you know, disappearing, going to a different location, everybody rushing that hill like just moves along and crawls through the corridors, and you have to be constantly moving. You can't just camp it, you know, the same way the entire time you're capping it. You have to
follow the hill. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man.
Oh, that's pretty different.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, Assassin, we had some fun with that. That was pretty good, no?
Yeah, to a point.
Oh, jeez, you know. forget it.
And then someone gets the demon rune, and then they go on like a 50 kill streak, and it's just like,
Yes.
come on.
Yes, yes.
And you have to hear that boring announcer pretend he's like all cool, like the Halo guy.
Yeah, the announcer could be a little better. I'll give you that. But I feel like most people are gonna be buying this for the campaign anyway. Like She-Wolf said in the it's Warpath. She-Wolf says in the YouTube Warpath. Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people are gonna be getting this for the campaign anyway. I'm really hoping the campaign is as hellish as the Doom 3 campaign was. Just put a little bit of next gen, improvements into the campaign and into Doom in general, and I think it's gonna be an awesome game. But the multiplayer, people are very divided on it, and even on this panel, we're all divided on it. So, anything else about Doom before we get out of here? Anything, Assassin?
I think that season pass is a little bit overpriced for $40.
What does it come with? Did they say what it comes with? I didn't even see.
I
Few
do agree with that.
demons, armor, shaders,
No.
maps.
No. Yeah, maps is fine. Map packs is fine, but when they start throwing in like paying a lot of money for like all these shaders and colors, and I can't get behind that. I'm sorry, can't get behind that.
Use like all those shaders and like armors and all that kind of stuff. They should use that as like Halo 5 as cosmetic microtransactions.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no need for DLC for that.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's the only thing that I'm okay with on microtransactions. Like if it's like currency to boost you or you buy boosts, like I'm not really a huge fan of microtransactions, but shaders and stuff, yeah, make that optional. People can pay to customize their character, whatever. Kind of like avatars in the Xbox, kind of like that.
Yeah, going back to Gears of War quickly, that's the exact same thing they're gonna have for Gears of War 4. Same kind of model as Halo Live. I believe
Right.
they're gonna have like certain packs that you could purchase.
Right.
To do with your cosmetics, something to do with your skin, your weapon skin, your armor skin. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm all for it, and I'm gonna go for a good cause anyway. Compared to Gears of War and the esports thing and everything, just like Halo 5 was.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if it really pushes for esports, then I really don't mind.
Right.
Because the money's going to be going back to gaming. It's not like they're going to put it in their pocket, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. True. Like if they like, I'm a little bit more at ease in buying a microtransaction if I know it's going toward like bettering the game instead of like the Call of Duty stuff with like the Snoop Dogg like call outs and all that stuff or whatever. Assassin, wasn't it Snoop Dogg, right?
And some drill instructor.
The drill instructor and stuff. Like
They
those
didn't
guys
have
were
more of that.
those guys were pocketing that.
Oh, definitely.
Crazy. All right, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the show. It went a little over what I thought it was going to go, but Assassin, you know what? You're always there to point that out.
Yep.
You're always there to point that out. Anyway, Iron Wolf, thank you very much for coming on and being our fourth guy this week and talking about some gears, giving your professional input on that topic, and talking to us about the PSNeo and stuff.
Oh, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And if you want, just one more time, give a shout out for where we can find you, on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at I am Iron Wolf. That's my Twitter handle. And you can add me on Xbox Live, which is all caps Iron Space Wolf 714. And I'm always down for gaming. Doesn't matter what game it is, I'm always down.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we'll definitely take you up on that, especially with the Gears beta. We definitely want to get some gaming in with a pro like yourself. So, for sure.
Oh, look, I'm a pro. I'm okay.
5v1, man, that's impressive, dude. 3v1, I'm starting to shake. 5v1, I would be pissing myself. So,
Yeah, Iron Wolf, I need to be on your team so I can feel like what it is to win.
Let's use the Nasher.
all right, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely add you up on Xbox if we haven't already. So, all right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out.